Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. This video taken just hours ago when a wildfire burning near Eagle Ridge, southwest of Spokane, was threatening homes and forcing evacuations. It started just before 2 o'clock this afternoon and could be seen from Spokane's South Hill. Tonight, that fire is estimated to be about 200 acres and is 90% lined. That's according to the Department of Natural Resources. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk was at the scene for several hours today. He breaks down everything we know about the fire tonight.
You could see and smell the smoke across the Spokane region. Tonight, it's unknown what caused the West Hallett fire, but it started this afternoon and forced railroads to close, as well as Cheney-Spokane Road.
We actually have 13 aircraft actively dropping water on this fire. At this time, we haven't heard of any structures that have been lost or damaged.
The fire ripped through dry pine trees and tall brush. People lined up along High Drive on Spokane's South Hill and watched large columns of smoke fill the sky. Closer to the flames, property owners were on edge. Many turned on sprinklers.
What they're focusing on right now is digging line and structure protection is the main focus on the fire.
Planes and helicopters spent hours dumping water and fire retardant. Pilots helped slow the fire's spread, and later this evening, the fire quit growing. Firefighters will be on scene throughout the night and likely for the next several days, according to Spokane County Fire District 8. Tonight, 90% of the fire has been trailed. However, it's still 0% contained. State fire assistance has been mobilized at the request of Spokane Fire Chief Brian Schaefer. In Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Also impacting air quality across the state tonight, a wildfire burning in both the U.S. and Canada. The Eagle Bluff fire sparked on Saturday and has already destroyed 3 homes and is 0% contained tonight. We know the fire has burned more than 15,000 acres so far. It's burning near the town of Oroville in Okanogan County. So take a look at this time-lapse video sent in by a viewer. Firefighters are actively fighting the flames on both sides of the border tonight. We will continue to bring you updates just as soon as we learn them. On that note, you likely smelled a noticeable drop in the air quality today within hours of the fire here closer to Spokane. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Magoo to find out where we stand now. Jeremy?
Well, Mark, it's all thanks to that wind direction. Right now, wind relatively light out of the west-southwest here in Spokane at 7 miles per hour. That plays a role in our air quality, and it's dropping us. We're at 89 in terms of AQI. That puts us in moderate, but very close to unhealthy for sensitive groups. If you can, shut the windows of your house and use the fan to filter some of that air through your furnace's filter. That will make a big difference in what you're breathing in your house. I know it might get a little warm, but that's just the best thing we can all do right now. Wind remains relatively light across the region, which is great news for crews battling some of the ongoing wildfires. However, it is blowing some of that smoke directly into Spokane. Tonight, winds stay at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, and they will start out tomorrow morning pretty light, but eventually pick up tomorrow afternoon. And then, well, it looks a lot like today, 10 to 15 miles per hour tomorrow afternoon, and then staying similar on Wednesday. Basically, the next 3 days look a lot like today, a little bit warmer. Hot and hazy is likely going to be the case, but wind remains light enough that there's no critical fire danger, but still plenty of elevated fire danger across the region.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. New tonight, Spokane police arrested a suspect tied to a shooting that happened near Franklin Park a few weeks ago. 42-year-old Jose Matthews was booked into the Spokane County Jail on a charge of second-degree murder. The shooting took place back on July 14th, just before midnight. Officers arrived to find a man slumped over next to a building on North Division. Medics attempted to revive him, but he died at the scene. The identity of that victim has yet to be released. And now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. Just 24 hours ago, a 3-passenger plane crashed onto the beach at Priest Lake in Idaho. We went to the scene where the plane is still in the water today. 2 adults and a child were inside at the time. Fortunately, they all survived and suffered what are described as non-life-threatening injuries. We spoke exclusively to a volunteer firefighter who jumped into action when the plane went down.
Fortunately, for a bad situation, it could have been much worse.
The Bonner County Undersheriff says the plane is not leaking fuel into the lake and it's still safe to access the beach. The plane will stay there, in fact, while the FAA and NTSB investigate the crash. A fentanyl roundtable describes Spokane County's fight against fentanyl today as dismal. U.S. Senator for Washington Maria Cantwell was at the event. She heard from people who've been impacted firsthand by the drug, either by using it or by treating those who did.
And it got stronger and stronger, and it's harder to get off the bed.
Communities are telling us if they just had more capacity with workforce, with behavioral health, with beds, they could do a lot more to stem the tide.
Many providers say a lack of funding is hindering efforts to serve the overwhelming numbers in need. Cantwell says Medicare may play a role in filling that gap, but the conversation is far from over. Now, Spokane Regional Health is looking to work on a pilot project to address the issues. Meantime, a bomb was pulled from the Spokane River today after a concerned citizen spotted it and called it in. The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office sent a sonar team to the area near Greens Ferry Boat Launch. That's where they found and retrieved a bomb using a sonar robot. These are pictures from the scene. With the help of the Spokane Bomb Squad, the device has safely been detonated. Deputies are now asking anyone with any information on that bomb to please contact the Sheriff's Office. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them right to your phone. In national news, the property manager of Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate made his first court appearance today in the classified documents case against the former president. Carlos de Oliveira faces charges including conspiracy to obstruct justice and lying to investigators. Prosecutors say he conspired with Trump and Walt Nauta to delete security footage. Despite his legal challenges, former President Trump is still leading in the race to win the Republican presidential nomination. Actor Angus Cloud, known for playing Fez on HBO's Euphoria, has died. He was 25 years old. Cloud's publicist said he died at his family home today, but gave no cause of death. In a statement, his family said goodbye to, quote, an artist, a friend, and a brother and son. They also said Cloud, quote, buried his father last week and intensely struggled with the loss. Meantime, the federal government launching a new website today to help you save on student loans under a new plan by the Biden administration. Some borrowers could see their monthly payments drop to nothing. Income and family size will determine the payments for current and future loan borrowers. Some people could see their payments cut in half, even canceled after at least 10 years of repayment once the program is in full effect next year. And new tonight, law enforcement in Idaho found a human jawbone along the shore of Bear Lake, a popular vacation site. The sheriff confirmed the remains are human, but they don't know the gender or age of the person or how long they've been there. The Bear Lake County Sheriff's Office is now partnering with the Idaho State University to identify the body and find any other remains. Meantime, an Oregon woman says her iPhone saved her life. The woman says she was driving late Friday night when she hit the edge of the road and her car ended up falling more than 30 feet down an embankment. She was rescued after her iPhone's SOS feature sensed that she was in an accident and automatically called 911. It sent dispatchers to her exact location.
When I went down, I must have passed out and I hit the ground and the airbags went up. And then iPhone really saved my life because I had an SOS and it just automatically turned on.
The woman says her arms, legs, and face are bruised, but she's now on the mend. Well, you have less than 24 hours to submit your ballot for the primary election. Here's a look at some of the biggest races this year. First, if you live in the city of Spokane, voters will decide which two mayoral candidates will move on to the general election in November. Current Mayor Nadine Woodward is facing off against four challengers, including Lisa Brown, Tim Archer, Patrick McCann, and Kelly Stevens. And voters will also decide on who will be on the ballot for Spokane City Council President. Betsy Wilkerson, Kim Pleas, and Andy Rathbun are running for that position to replace former Council President Brian Beggs. He stepped down at the beginning of July to be a judge for the Spokane County Superior Court. And our election coverage continues on KREM 2+. You can hear directly from the candidates in our Tea with Amanda Rowley segments. And if you want more on what will appear on your primary ballot, just text us the word VOTE to 509-448-2000, and we'll send that link right to your phone. Well, heads up drivers, the TJ Meenock Bridge will be closed for the next 5 days. The bridge is completely closed to traffic with detours in place in both directions. The city recommends planning ahead and adding 10 to 15 minutes of extra travel time to your commute.